Well, it's still hot out. We're picking up some first cutting, if you even call it that. It's just a weedy stuff. Got off on a landowner. He's gonna try and work out. He's trying to sell this property, but he's gonna try and work out in the sale agreement. We'll get 2 years of making hay on it. If that's the case, I would like to work this all up, smooth it out, because it is very rough. Planted Timothy, just something cheap to get us going, and you know, I want some straight Timothy. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Plus, it's really wet dirt, so you know, being able to have a hay crop that doesn't mature quite as fast that we can get on later, that I think would be nice. So there's about 28 bales left. We got 28 on the truck right now. Like, we mowed this strip right here. You can't tell much. The windshield's so nasty. I need to clean a lot of equipment right now going down our lane. So yeah, it's some decent grass, but there's a lot of bad, that real bad thistle in it. So the goats are looking pretty good today. Here's our yearling does. We're gonna keep them back, breed them for next year. I don't know when we'll get them bred. They got some time yet. Oh man, is that a nice looking load? 28 bales. If we had 60 in the field, I would have loaded up 30. But we only did 56, so 2 trips of 28. We'll finish the field out. There's not much color left in them. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Yeah, there's a little green in there. Can't really peel it back. These are so tight. Yeah, you can see some color, but it's not great. First cutting grass, maybe they'll bring 30 bucks a bale. I don't know, hopefully 40. Well, we're out here about 2 weeks after we mowed it. And yeah, the foxtail's there, but we have a stand of alfalfa. And this is a thin spot. We go over here, we got some thicker spots. And yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd love to see it a little taller. We got some rain coming here tonight, more coming on, I think Tuesday. Today's Saturday, so we'll get some good rains on it. Hopefully we can get a 1/2 inch on both shots, but we might only get a 1/4 inch today, might only get a 1/10 inch or nothing today. It may not even get much next week either, but we can hope. Those are some nice looking rows. I'm really hoping this alfalfa can take off here. Outcompete some of this foxtail. That's what a lot of this stuff is. I worry it's not going to compete as well as I'd like, but we'll see what happens here. We definitely have some nice looking rows. You can see it's off to a good start. And then we got grass on the other side. We'll take a look at that. And yeah, I don't let anything go to waste. Here's our crossover lane, and we got some beautiful alfalfa right here. I wish the whole field just looked like this right here, clean and straight alfalfa. Still looks decent. But yeah, this is where our ditch crosses, and we're making hay right across it. It's not really ideal, but it needs some more dirt work. But for now, we're just going to keep using it as it is. Ditch is dried up. It's actually finally turned dry. It took a while. The grass is definitely needing a good shot of rain. Our stand here is really poor, because when we did all this crossover work, we were backing out. He'd scoop out of the ditch here or over there and dump it into the bucket of my loader tractor, and then I'd come around and go right here. So we had a lot of wheel traffic in this area, so the stand definitely suffered from compaction. Granted, that was done well before we planted, but still, even after working it, the damage was done. So here's some nice looking grass. This I love. I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. If the whole field is like that tall, you can see it's starting to get a little burnt. I have not put any nitrogen down on it yet. I will do that once I want to see it green up, start growing a little bit. And there's thin spots here that I'm gonna have to come in, and I'm planning on reseeding the thin spots in this sometime in the fall here. But yeah, overall, not a horrible stand. Let's go over here where it looks really nice, because this is what I should have showed you, only this area, and bragged it up. But I'll be honest with you all, this field does need some reseeding done. No, this looks really cool, really nice. Obviously, I don't want the foxtail. We'll just get rid of some of that. But no, the grass that is in here, that is doing well. It's doing very well. Really excited about this. This is something I've been looking forward to for a long time, to actually have a field of grass hay that I can manage myself, and we definitely need a rain on it. So I haven't showed you a lot of the logging. Just haven't been out here while they're doing much of it. But yeah, they've made some quick work. I think they're done cutting trees now. They got some pretty big logs out of here. I was surprised at how big some of these trees were, honestly. We'll go take a look at some of this because there's some big suckers in there. Look at that one way in the back. We'll go take a look. Look at that sucker right there. There's an even bigger one right there too. Holy cow. It's got to be almost 3 foot across. That's one of the smaller ones. You can just see there's some, hopefully some decent money in this. I'll pay for more stone. They got some neat equipment. Yeah, kind of a whole nother world, you know. I'm used to haymaking, and this is just kind of something that interests me. Not something I'll ever get into, but still pretty cool. Well, finally picking up the rake from the school farm, bringing that home so I can fix that, maybe get that listed for sale so we can probably get rid of that and buy a hay inverter. So this is the same 2 weeks of growth that was mowed the same day as that new seeding. This is what we're working with. Definitely not as thick of a stand as what I have on my new seeding, but it's a very much older stand, obviously, but deeper rooted, so it's growing back a lot faster. But as these stands age, plants die, they get thinner. The grass is there, but with how hot and dry it's been, the grass is not coming back like it did in second and third cutting. So it's not looking as full as what it could be. The height is starting to get up there. Just may not have the tonnage. I think we're gonna let this go out. This is fourth cutting on it right now. So yep, we're gonna pull this rake on home. I'll pull the gearbox apart and see if it's just a keyway. I think that's all it is. Yeah, right here behind me, this is the school farm here. That'll be fourth cutting. If we kept getting the rains like we did, we'd probably be making hay on this in about 2.5, 3 weeks and be looking at making a fifth cutting on it, which is kind of an abnormality here in our part of Ohio. But could have been possible. It's not, I don't think it's gonna be a reality here this year, just with how dry it is now. But I think what we're gonna do is let it grow out a little bit more and just try to get a little bit more tonnage and just go for 4 cuts, which is still a very respectable amount. There's a lot of folks who do dry horse hay around here. That 3 cuts is about all they're getting, which is fine. That's how they want to manage, and I like to see 4 cuts. So that's what we're doing here. There'll be a lot of fields we're doing this year that we'll only get 3 cuttings, or even 2, just depends on how things went. Some of those were not necessarily our fault. I mean, yes and no. Because some of them, it's just we didn't make the first cut, so the landowner got the first cut off late, which is fine. It's just the weather screwed a lot of people over, pushed them back, and with trying to get crops in the ground and making hay kind of got pushed off. Because we have some second cut we're going to be getting into this week. One of them was the first cut got pushed off really far for that landowner. We didn't make the first cut. And the other one would be that clover 20 acres we did. That got pushed off because we had some higher priority fields we were focusing in on. Partially we didn't have the windows to get in there and get clover dry, and also ground conditions didn't allow us to get into that field as early as we wanted, because there was 2 windows we were going to get in there, but it just wasn't fit to get on the ground. So yeah, we had the dry days to get it done, but we just didn't have ground conditions that would be I don't know if you want to say acceptable or what have you. We didn't want to go tear anything up, so we waited longer than I wanted to. Late June I think is when that clover got baled off. Right, I think we went right out of that clover field and right into straw, so it would have been very late June that first cutting got pulled off of that field. And I'm looking at second cut on that here, probably in the next week and a half, as well as the second cutting alfalfa we're getting into that now. That should wrap up the last of second cutting. We'll be rolling right into third cut. North Archbold where we're going to be next. That might be in 2-3 weeks. I haven't even made it up there to look at that. I have no idea what that stuff looks like. I'm sure it's going to be, it'll be ready here in a couple weeks once we wrap up some second cutting. I'd love to see 4 cuts off of that too, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not either. If we can get it off here soon, 4 cutting should be possible. Being a very mature stand, it's a lot of grass is taking over, and yes, you keep pushing those late cuttings off. If you get an early fall, early frost, that could really decimate the alfalfa population. But I think he's terminating it anyhow, so really a late cutting isn't going to hurt us any. You know, he gets more tonnage off the field, he makes more money. We get to extend our cut window, we make more money, and the field gets terminated anyways. But I don't know. That's what he's told me. I think the stand's been there for quite a while, so maybe he's been telling other folks the same thing. for a while now too, so maybe it will stay for another year, which is fine. If it's got enough grass there to make a decent stand for next year, even if the alfalfa dies. So everyone's got different goals and ideals of what they want. So if you want an alfalfa stand, obviously we don't want to push that late cutoff very far, but if you're okay with that switching over to more grass, then yeah, we can definitely take that late cutoff, late September, early October, and make you some more money, make us some more money, if you don't care about the long-term stand of that alfalfa. Now, like stuff like my new seeding or other stands that we're hoping to see for a while, we want to be a little more cautious on that and hold off on pushing those cuttings late into the year. Traditionally, I think first week October, second week October is when our first frost is here in our part of Ohio. I think we're zone 6B or 6A, I don't remember. Traditionally, that's what we've seen, and that's what's on, I think, on the Farmer's Almanac. I think it's been 3 or 4 years since we've had a frost, anything close to that. Oftentimes, we still see a lot of growing degree days well into late October. Sometimes it's almost November before we're seeing a first killing frost. So you could have gotten away with pushing that cut all the way out, and probably even to the first week of October. It's really out without hurting the stand of alfalfa, because it's going to have several weeks of regrowth there. And if you get some rain there and some warmer days, yeah, it's going to grow back really well, and you'll be perfectly fine. But you know, if it's a stand you really care about, that's not something you want to push too late, because that'll be the year you get an early killing frost, and possibly doesn't overwinter very well. So, yep, here we are. We'll pull this rake home. I don't even think you can see it behind me with the toolbox. You kind of see the handles on top of it. We'll get into that if it doesn't rain today, and maybe take tomorrow a little easy. We got another county fair we're doing pedal pulls for that we put on. So tomorrow will be another day that's going to be busy, and then back to work on Monday until they can find someone to replace me. I'm still going to have to keep going into work every day for the most part. After the rain passes Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll start mowing hay again and get back into business. Yeah, this probably be the slowest week we've had in about maybe 3 or 4 or 5 weeks now. I think we've been running pretty hard since about the middle of June, and now, yeah, it's been probably 2 months. We rolled right out of that second cut clover, third cutting alfalfa, or no, that was first cutting clover in June, second cutting alfalfa on the school farm and the field out by Coles up I-town. We were doing those together. I think we had some other hay down at that time too. I think we did quite a few fields. We had some other stuff, some custom work we were doing, quite a few custom jobs in that window. Rolled right into straw, rolled right out of straw into third cutting on the school and field out by town. We did our new seeding. We did the one field up by Archbold, second cut. We did probably like 130 acres in the last week. So we knocked a lot out then, and now here we are probably pushing into the third week of August, and I don't think we've had more than like a day or two off consecutively, if even you call it a day off, because we're just getting caught up hauling equipment home, fixing stuff. I still got to get the round baler home from a custom job up in Archbold, and that's probably almost a 20-mile drive from that job to get home. So probably have my wife drop me off after work Monday night, and I'll just drive it home, and then I can get fixing on that, because the crank handle for lifting the pickup on it broke, so I got to pull that off and re-weld it. My weld job didn't last long enough last time apparently, so I'll look into trying to strengthen that up a little bit better. But yeah, maybe we could have Tuesday, Wednesday slower days, and then roll right into mowing again on Thursday, and maybe knock down as much as 45 acres or even more, depending how long and how nice a window we have. Oh, I got it jacked up, tire pulled off. What I'm going to do is take these 6 bolts out here, pull this out, see what it looks like inside. Looks like I got my help, lots of it. Oh geez, well, I got it back together. I think the axle just maybe slid over a little bit. I'm trying to figure out why that happened. Maybe any more spacers or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna throw the tire back on, put it back on the ground, and see if it works. And if it does, we'll get some pictures and videos of it. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff. It's kind of nice when things are this simple. So even if you do have issues, it's pretty easy to get in there and see what's going on. And there really isn't a lot that can go wrong in there anyhow. But anymore, we're not really combining rows with this anyhow, with the rotary rake, which is right up there somewhere, where I'd rather just have a hay inverter, so that's all we're doing with this, is flipping the windrows, and this doesn't do as good a job as an inverter does. So if we sell this, we get a hay inverter, life will be easier. I'll throw some clean oil in it for the next guy. I used to carry a lot more 80-90 on hand with that old 1750 Oliver we had. I could never get it sealed up right since those ran 80-90 in the rear end and transmission. All newer tractors run hydraulic oil and all that. The Olivers had a separate reservoir for hydraulic oil directly beneath the seat, but it did leak 80-90. Not like a crazy amount, but enough I always kept some on hand. Now it's just for gearboxes and annual servicing. I like what we're doing now, which is kind of nice for not going through a couple gallons a year or more. Should make a nice rake for somebody. We've just kind of outgrown it. Sad to see the Oliver stuff go, but at the end of the day, we're farming to make money, I guess. Maybe someday I'll get back into the hobby and have some collections, but right now it's not in the cards for us. Maybe I'll sell it. It'll be all right. Throw that back on and should be good to go. Well, if you stuck around this long, thanks for watching. Finally, actually have a little slow time. We can get in here and look at goats a little bit. I don't know if any of these girls are actually pregnant or that far along as they look, because she looks big. But I wonder if they're just bloated because they kind of have all this nice clover to eat. Hard to say. You pregnant, girl? Hard saying. Goats always just look fat and bloated. It's really tough for me to figure that out if they're pregnant or not. I'll know when they start bagging up. We'll have about a month's heads up then. So you can see she's really, nothing's happening yet. He's having fun with them. But these replacement does, yeah, they're a little on the frail side, I would say. They don't look horrible. Definitely could push corn to them and they grow a lot thicker, a lot faster. But this is the cheap way to do it and it's working. Just takes a little bit longer. Well, they followed us all the way out to the barn. I don't think the goats, they're not really too sure of these things. They just hopped in here.